Yeah. Yeah, I'll send him an email. Yeah, I really should. I really should see him. I really should. Are you coming on soon? All right.
Yup.
Well, talk.
He's after.
Can you talk?
Yeah, talking.
What the fuck? Fucking piece of shit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Bop, bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop.
Yeah, voice is good.
But is it from the microphone?
For sure. Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
is it from the microphone?
Yes.
So this is really loud,
It's a good volume.
and this is not loud.
Correct.
Okay, trust you because it's important. However, you're not coming into my mouth. Oh, you're outside of my host's organization. Wait, you don't go to Yale? Okay, I guess. All right, it's recording.
Let's go.
I don't want to see my face though, so let me just. All right, I can see my hair. How about you can hear me there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, buddy. How are you?
Hey, it's pretty good. It's beautiful week, man.
Beautiful
Uh,
week. You did like shit.
hey, that's not wrong. Hey, but I'm excited for this
No, that's good.
upcoming week.
I'm
I'm
kidding.
excited for this upcoming week.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. Just really need to be careful here. Okay, that should be fine. We are recording. Great. Um, so we'll put the scores here. There they are. How about we just read them?
Sure.
I'll read mine. This is for the week of May 19th through May 25th. I had 15 goals. Big fitness week. 5 quick and cold showers. Wake up at 6 a.m. 4 times this week. No porn. Keep my phone away. Read 2 hours 5 times this week. Uh, kill my beard compulsion, which means just me touching my beard. Progress on my to-do list. Make a habits goals manifestation sheet. Work on my resume. Packed and ready to leave New Haven. Work on my solar knowledge. Bid my farewell to Yale, New Haven for the time being. Farewell to my ex. Will block out her name. And as per my promise to Steven, which is why I had him on my wallpaper, to 100% this week. And I did 100% this week. Um, I did a little loophole, which, I got 2 black dots and 2 stars, and the rest are check marks. Um, yeah, do you want to read yours?
Sure thing. Might take a moment.
Yeah, to take 10 minutes.
So, yeah, I had 30 goals,
Yeah.
which was to read, plan my England trip, clear chaos, which respond to letters, prep Square Point, plan a 3-year anniversary, do an outing in nature with my dad, spend quality time with my dad, do some local things before I leave, go to the gym and pool, perhaps with my dad, pack and prep for my departure this week, work on my mentor project, some clarity on my life path and the balance, work on some sort of creative goal with Aiden, find a way to concretize these goals here into something actionable, go for 100% this week. Yeah, that went slightly differently for me than Isaac.
Yeah.
Uh, plan days out in advance. Look at goals slash calendar. Maybe use GCal. Take a good sleep schedule. Take care of self, nutrition, looks, etc.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely not.
yeah, I mean, look at me, dude. Learn, like example, read to ingest and remember, not just to read. Uh, maybe play chess versus myself. Decide if I want a game, and if so, what games. And generally, how I'm going to allocate my time. Work on snorkel or some other money making scheme. Understand the Ukraine war. Work on languages.
I'm sorry. It's a serious thing, I know,
Yeah,
but just the fact that you have understand Ukraine war, just as like, oh yeah, I can do that in a few days.
yeah, yeah. A little bit much. Uh, Yeah, like I said, work on languages, 2025 goals,
Dude, you
write a
need
letter to self,
that
how to
2025
piano,
goals, man.
and schedule a meetup with my mentor.
Okay, and you got how many out of how many?
12.5 out of 30.
All right.
Yeah.
12.5 out of 30. That
Or,
puts us in total at a
yep.
27.5.
Oh, it's a big number.
27.5 out of 45. I mean, yeah, right. So let's talk about it. I mean, honestly, for me, that promise I made you, man, that shit really got to me.
Mhm,
It really got to me to the point where, it's interesting how we're so willing to fail ourselves sometimes and be
mhm,
complacent, but when it's somebody else, we are we don't want to disappoint them.
mm,
Which is we can talk about that. That's interesting. Yeah, man, I worked out 7 days this week. The last one wasn't that huge, but it was still a workout. Yeah, just going to the gym, running, packing. That was a lot. Um, yeah, quick and cold showers. I think I took 6 or 5. I don't know, but it was good. Waking up at 6 a.m. Yeah, the porn. That one was easier than I thought because I could just unlock my phone and look at the wallpaper, so I didn't really need porn.
mm. Can we
No,
see the wallpaper?
I took it out.
Oh, okay.
I took it out because I don't want to abuse the power of the wallpaper. You know, um, keep my phone away. What I was not that great at it. There were times where I went a long time without my phone. I went to the gym. I did a lot of things without my phone, which I normally would. But still, there were moments where it got the best of me. I read, as I told you, I read like an extra hour and 30 minutes this
Mhm,
week, which I think is a win. Same with the beard compulsion. You know, I don't know. It's getting really long, my beard, and I want to wait until I get a nice haircut to like trim it nicely.
yep.
And everything else, man, to-do list, my sheets with the goals and habits and all that,
Mhm,
resume. I did everything. I sold a lot of stuff because I'm moving. Yeah, everything else, it was really good. Um, and I think, yeah, the biggest thing was the promise that I made you. Um, and it's interesting because we can be like, well, why don't I just promise you this every week,
mhm,
right? And I think, um, as I mentioned, it's like I want to get in the habit, or want to get in the sort of space mind state where I can do it for myself. Obviously I'm doing it for you as well because you're
mhm,
invested in my improvement and in my achieving my goals. But yeah, ideally, I guess we want to trust ourselves. Have that sort of trust in myself that I can do it for myself. So I think that's a good reason to I just needed a wake up. I needed a
mhm.
slap in the face. And I'm glad I promised it because I really don't think I would have gotten 100 without that promise. Yeah, I really doubt it. I highly doubt it. Um, so it was a great week. Um, Yeah, it was a great week. I'm so excited for moving. I'm excited to see my family. And that's just what's on my mind right now, seeing my family, adjusting to everything. I'm being a little vague here because, I want to keep some things under wraps, but essentially just be ready for a new chapter in my life, and
Mhm.
the end of another chapter. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Well, why don't you hit me with the black dots? I mean, there's not too much to dissect here in terms of improvement, right? But
Sure.
I guess
Um,
there's 2 black you gotta
I
find something to
guess
talk
here's the
about.
thing, right? Like, I want to talk about how I can get rid of these habits, right?
Mhm.
The phone, keep the phone away. It's a little sad that what I'm going to be doing this summer is going to require me to use my phone quite a bit. That means not using it for like doom scrolling or whatever, but to do the job that I have to do. Um, so that's necessary. I can't really find a way around that. Um, how can I get rid of that habit? Because I also have my comedy page and I want to post on it sometimes. I posted a video, it got 5,600 views, which is the most
Whoa.
views I've ever gotten in my
On
comedy
what
page.
platform?
My Instagram comedy
Okay.
page. You should watch it later. Uh, or you can watch it now. I can see your reaction. Um, but I mean, I think it's just keeping in mind to not use my phone when I don't need to.
Mhm.
The thing is, when I have to use my phone, talk to my family, I'm waiting, I've been calling my dad to like buy the car. It's just a lot of moments where I can just very easily just hop on the fucking phone and just do stupid shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But how can I think keeping the Instagram uninstalled, that's a good way to do it.
Mhm.
I think because when are the moments I use my phone, right? Like, you know, when I'm in the shower, sometimes I'll see my phone. That's probably not a good that's not a good habit at all.
Mhm.
So I guess again, I'm trying to articulate how can I fix these things because that's what matters, right? How am I
Right.
going to overcome that? I think I have an idea which I could promise you that I'm not going to that I'm going to achieve that goal specifically. That's something I could do.
Mhm.
Instead of the whole week, I can be like, okay, these goals I'm struggling with a lot.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's not enough for me to tell myself. So I can do that. I can do that. Um, and with the beard compulsion, I mean, fuck, in a way that's harder, because it's on my face the whole time.
And it's, like, unconscious, right? I feel like you touch it
It's a
without
hunch.
even
Yeah.
realizing
Yeah.
you're touching. Yeah.
Yeah. I think allowing myself, you know, it's not the end of the world. I think when I'm in a social setting or when I'm supposed to be doing something and I'm just like standing in the corner like an idiot touching my beard. So I think I'm probably gonna trim it when I get home.
Mm.
Get a nice little trim, look nicer. Um, and yeah, I guess just keep doing what I'm doing, which is, use my fidget thingies when I really want to touch my beard. It's such a stupid thing.
Mm.
But yeah, I think to keep my phone away, I will promise you that I'm going to be better about it this week.
Okay.
And then for my beard compulsion, I will work on that myself. Yeah.
Yeah, what's your, like, metric for the promise about keeping the phone away? Like, what does that look like?
It would look like me not so like if I have to talk on the phone, if I want to listen to music, that's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean listening to a podcast all day, not
Mhm.
at all. I guess it would be like
Yeah, yeah.
to use it to not use it in moments where it takes away from my experience of life.
Mhm.
If I'm in the shower, I there's no reason to be on my phone.
Yeah. Is your phone waterproof? How are you even doing that?
I just keep it out of the water.
Mm.
It's a stupid thing. It's just to me in my head, I'm like, oh, the warm water hitting my back and just seeing some memes like that's
Dopamine.
so good. Yeah, it is. It really is, and it's not good. But I think yeah, it means not using it at moments that it takes away from what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Um, and if I have to use it, send an email, check an email, whatever. You know.
Okay.
But I would just say not use it the way I'm using it that I used it sometimes this week, where
Yeah.
it added nothing to my life.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. And then with the beard, it's just, mostly when I'm like sitting, like when I read, right? It's
Mm.
really hard for me not to touch my beard when I read,
Yeah.
like really hard. In a way, like, I know I don't want to sound silly, but it is stimming kind of thing.
Mhm.
It is soothing and it calms me down.
Mhm.
It's just when I am doing it in social settings or when I am doing it, while driving.
Mhm.
Not good.
Yeah, what
Not a
does it
good
look
thing.
like when you
Just I just
scratching?
I just do this because it's so interesting because it's very dense. It's very
Yeah.
dense. And there's something nice about doing this motion.
Mhm.
It's kind of like when you're picking at your skin
Yeah.
and you like how it feels when you're peeling the skin off.
Mhm.
Um it's the same thing really. It's like it's not even that I'm enjoying it, it's that I don't do it consciously. It's like an unconscious pleasure. And it distracts me a little bit. If I'm reading and I'm having trouble focusing, I can just fucking touch that shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then, and it's also, I would say, maybe also an OCD type behavior. I'm not saying I have OCD, but like in my head, my beard has to look a certain way. It has to feel a certain way. And if
Mhm.
I feel like this side is off, I will touch it until it's how it's supposed to be.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
It's very like, I don't even know what to call it. I feel like a lot of people don't struggle with this, right? A lot of people, there's some people out there that have to stim or they have to like, bounce their foot or they have to like, you know, pick at their lips, whatever it is. Yeah. So it's just a small little habit that I have to take control over.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I think let's leave it there for me. I
Mhm.
think you will be a lot more interesting, a lot to talk about here.
Yeah.
Maybe we can't get through everything in detail, but certainly we can say a couple of things about each thing
Okay.
and maybe
Yeah.
spend more time in, like, for example, the 2025 goals. I mean, it's fucking June, you know?
Yeah. Um, sure. Well, I guess maybe the best ones to start are there's the pure X's.
Sure.
Yeah. Um,
Read.
or read. Oh, that one's in all caps. Just wanted to. I've bought so many books while I've
You
been
told
here,
me. Yeah, you
right?
told me.
And it's been slow to get that list down. And I maybe imagined reading before bed most nights. I just didn't do it.
Why? Or what were you doing instead?
What was I doing instead? That's a good question. Um, well, a lot of things that were, I guess, key to the week took much, much more time than I thought they might.
I see.
So, like one thing, like preparing for the 3-year anniversary
Yeah.
that was on Sunday. I wanted to have a poem for that and a little musical thing, and I decided to make an animation as well.
Yeah.
And I think I
I have to
imagine
see the things you sent me. I will check them out.
that's fine. The animation is 13 seconds, so you can feel free to peep that if you want. I think it's actually I've made 2 animations in my life. One was this, and I made a, something way back in the day as
Okay.
well.
Something some things took you a lot longer than you anticipated.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now this isn't like a total excuse by any means, but, it is interesting to see. I think one of the interesting things was the collapse of the daily schedule because I planned the days out in advance. I actually was going pretty hard in terms of trying to time
Jesus
everything and put
Christ.
the goals down and things like this. And things didn't work out. To animate, I needed a Wacom tablet, which needed to be at home, which wasn't. So I thought it was in storage. Then I end up in storage and I open every single box in storage looking for it. And then along the
Oh
way, I f
god.
I, like, come across old letters, the letter that you wrote me at the end of Williams.
What?
Yeah, and the
Wow.
letter that I wrote myself right after Wolf before Williams started, and right, like, there's just this huge
Yeah,
trove, and
of
it's, like,
course.
super hard for me to just, like, dig, dig,
For
dig, dig,
sure. Yeah,
dig
yeah, yeah, yeah.
when I come across this. So then, yeah, I have to
Did you read them?
I I kept getting distracted by stuff, and I was like, "I have to get out of here." So I packed them, I brought them all home with me. I'm very
Nice.
excited to read them.
That's interesting. I
Yeah,
don't think did you give me one? I'm sure you did.
I think I wrote you
God
something, but,
damn. I need to look for it.
yeah. But yeah, so this just each time, then getting the Wacom tablets, then finding out what software to install, then getting everything set, and and in that whole day was gone. That day, I imagined I
Yeah,
could knock out the
sure.
animation
Yeah, yeah,
and the
yeah.
piano,
No.
and I would do some reading. So,
Yeah.
I think one of the big issues, and I'm very glad for this week to elucidate it. There's a few issues. One is this like an actual acute sense of like what a minute is and what an hour is and what can actually be realistically
Sure.
done
Sure.
in these days. Um, you know, I think that I have a poor understanding of that because the
Clearly.
days were scheduled. Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously,
You're always late.
I'm always
You
late.
we literally have Steven time.
We have Steven time, right?
Yeah.
And yesterday, I didn't have the kind of
Interesting.
foresight as well on the call I was like, "Yeah, I'm
Or
gonna
the
be able to do the
foreskin.
call." Yeah, well, that was a tragic accident at 18, but we'll get into that at some point. Um,
Sorry.
actually, I guess we can't get into it anymore because 'cause it's gone, but yes.
Yeah.
Um, but I am going for my annual, haircut, head cut, so in a couple weeks. Um Look, so I think that's one of the big things is
Yeah.
I think I can get more done than I actually can. This is one huge issue, and um, not enough flexibility built into the schedule. And
Sure.
also another thing, and I know we're just talking about read here, but and ostensibly at least, another thing that I realized is like I put all these goals down for this week, right? Because there were so many things that I wanted to do while I was here in California, right?
Yeah.
And then the time got compressed and I was leaving soon because I my flight's 8 a.m. Thursday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, everything that I've wanted to do, I just plopped it down onto a piece of paper and I didn't realize just how much time these things take.
Yes.
And I also, but more importantly, what I realized is that like I um how to word this well. I struggle to I guess create priorities or commit to these things in some sense because I don't want to say goodbye to something, like a proper goodbye. And let me explain because maybe this will make sense. Like, I told you for a long time there's been a drive to, get a song out and get the poems really cranking and
Yeah.
go to Omen and everything. And these sit in the back of my head as things that I want to do and I'm going to do soon, 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 right? This indeterminate soon, and they sit in this indeterminate soon in my mind and take up space and sort of eat at me. Um, and I could say, "Okay, you know what? It's actually not happening. It's actually not like, I'm not gonna do that now. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna do that for the next that's not happening anytime
And
soon."
you don't
But I
want to.
don't want it. I don't wanna do
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah.
cannot do it, and I realized this week just how poor I am at doing that, and I think that that's a huge, I mean, I want a big realization for me, but a huge kind of, I don't know, pressure on me that I guess really fucks my stuff up because there's so many things that I don't want to say goodbye to, and that not only do they weigh on me, but it can be difficult to fully commit to something else
Yeah.
because fully committing to something else requires saying goodbye
Well,
to
it's not a
those.
goodbye. It's like a temporary, it's like
Yeah.
a see you later. Yeah, I
Yeah,
struggle with
but
that.
even
Yeah.
if it's a see you late, it has to be something like, "Okay, I'm not gonna work on you for a week or a month," or but it's like somehow I want everything to exist in this potential space where everything is, just soon away from being realizable, so that perhaps I can have this self-perception that I am the type of person that does all of these things.
Yeah.
But then they sit there, they don't get done, and they weigh. And so, this kind of list showed me how many things had just been sitting in the background, hadn't been executed, and that they're not executable on the weekly time frame. This obviously was perhaps a bit of an excessive goal week, but I think that kind of coming to see that about myself was very helpful.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things to say about that. I've dealt with that. I've struggled with that. Like I just mentioned to you, the novel that I was working on during Williams, and I haven't worked on it. And I've had times where I tell people, "Yeah, I'm working on this novel," or you know, it's in the back of my head and it weighs heavily on me. Or if I want to do something else, I can't really do it because I feel like, well, that means I'm not going to do this other thing.
Mhm.
It's a combination of things you have to accept. Like, you can't do everything, you know? Um, at least not at once. You can't do everything at once. It's also the fact that some projects take time, and it's not always that they take time because they take time to put together, but also because sometimes other things take over.
Mhm.
And it's a thin line between calling it giving yourself some grace and, rationalizing a failure, you know?
Yeah.
Because you could argue, like, if you tell yourself, like, okay, this project, I'm gonna shelve it for now. You could argue that that's a failure. You could argue that that's a good thing to do.
Mhm.
I mean, the thing is, some things take precedence sometimes, and they're new things. Like, if something were to happen to you, I don't know, something bad or really good, and that requires your immediate attention, you don't have that freedom to shy away from that. And
Yeah.
in a way, that makes the project that you're working on more special. Because if you
Mhm.
just had all the time you wanted to dedicate it, if you were losing nothing while you're working on this thing, whatever it is, then there's maybe nothing behind it. There has to be some sort of sacrifice, for the animation that you made or for these goals that you did accomplish, right? I guess it depends on which ones, but the how to piano, um, or the plan 3 year, like these things you did at the expense of other things.
Mhm.
So they in a way they mean more because they came at the expense of something else. It's all cost, the opportunity cost, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, if I'm working, like for example, I have this documentary to work on right now, and it's a big project that's going to take a long time. I am scared of, like, once I'm in California and other things take more immediate precedence, like where the fuck is that going to go? Where's my stand-up comedy going to go? That's for me to figure out, and that's for me
Yeah.
to prioritize. I have a list of things that I'm working on, right? It's like, I have a screenplay, I have Podle that I want to publish. It's a bunch of different things at different
Mhm.
stages of development.
Yeah.
And I kind of have to accept that, hey, you know what? I'm not going to have as much time as I used to. But if I work on each of these things a little bit every day and maybe choose, like, we've talked about this, right? I don't think anybody should be working on more than two projects at a time, at
Mhm.
least in the beginning, right? And you have a full-time job, it's harder. But I guess just be realistic. Be realistic. What would you rather, have, like, to never finish a project and for it to weigh down on you forever, or to finish it a few years later? You
Right.
know, I think it's better to finish it a few years later, I would say. Um, but how about we move on with your with
Mhm.
some of these goals? You didn't really, yeah, yeah. So we have this big thing that you said you miscalculated how much time it would take to do certain things. Does
Yeah.
that apply for all your exes, or are there certain exes that there's no excuse?
Yeah. Right. I think that if they're if you shuffle them based on priority and perhaps how much time they take, then some don't, some really shouldn't be, X's. Um, so the like, let's see. I mean, one that obviously does need to be discussed is the 2025
Yeah,
goal.
let's talk about that actually. Um, we should spend a couple of minutes on this.
Yeah.
What is up with this, dude? Why haven't you put your 2025 goals? And not that it's something that everybody should do, that you must do it, but it's
Yeah.
something you care about because it's been up there a lot. So
Yeah. Well, I
what
mean,
is it?
actually, let's say it's it's not just a reoccurring thing, but I went to oh my gosh, I went to like Michael's or something like that, or Staples,
Yeah,
one of these stores. You remember when we had that call when I came back from that trading and ski camp?
yeah,
Yeah, and I was asking about how can you kind of internalize the confidence from an event like this? 'Cause
yeah,
I needed that after some interview beatdowns.
yeah,
That day, I bought um, big white paper, both paper and big white sheets, which was white board kind of material, but on a sheet of paper, in order to have a big ass thing to put in my living space, like the gold, right? So I wanted to have this big projection of the not projection, but big installation of my goals so that I see them all the time the same way that
yeah.
I see the whiteboard, you know?
Do you use the
So
whiteboard?
yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah, it's a nice little spot for me. But that I even bought the papers and the markers for this and everything, and it hasn't been executed. I think that um,
Yeah, why haven't you done it?
I think that there might be three reasons. I think that I think that one, maybe most importantly, my like present actions and kind of trajectory and the things that I'm trying to do now are not quite in line with what my actual goals would
Yeah, yeah,
be.
yeah, yeah.
And
Oh,
so if
that's
I
interesting.
create the goals, it's going to be some big cognitive dissonance.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, well, this is what I've been thinking about lately. Yeah, so it's that one's a bit scary. I think number 2 is that this process of making the goals, I think, 1 creates a exigency. Is that the hopefully that's the right hopefully that's the right
Exigence?
word. Yeah, an urgent need or
Exigency.
demand. Okay, thank
Sure.
goodness. I still have some marbles. Um, it creates an exigency around the things that would actually be on my goal list and then a kind of temporary pause or a goodbye at least on things that won't make it to that list, and that's also a spooky
Another
process.
thing that, yeah,
Yeah, especially when the kind of interviews that I'm preparing for seem to, at least in my mental arena, I mean, they're actually really fucking hard. But like in my mental arena, at least it's like, dude, you just have to be grinding this all the time. And so it's like the 2025 goals, I think, would be of a very different flavor. But it's like my whole day is kind of revolved around becoming this like linear algebra, continuous optimization, leak code,
yeah.
try hard. And it's like this is going to be some really weird thing going
Wait,
on
what's the
there.
difference between the first and the second reason?
Um, Okay, I guess they end up being somewhat similar.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think just the third thing is this sort of dual, like, okay, oh, I gotta get through this like textbook chapter from my mentor or whatever, and it's just like this is the most important thing now. The 2025 goals can wait until tomorrow because yesterday they waited
Sure.
until tomorrow, and then this you got this OP, this super powerful tomorrow, right? That can just store
Yeah.
infinitely many things. And I think that
Yeah.
that would be why. And I think that largely I'm a bit scared of it, to be honest. And from the first reason, a bit scared of it. And I think that's a big thing. And then with the power of tomorrow instead of now, I can just run away from fear because that's like the same shit as clear chaos, right? Like that's
Yeah.
another
Another one.
goal that's kind of reoccurrent. And it's because it's like a kind of an uncomfortable and kind of scary thing to do that I don't want to confront, you know?
Yeah.
And so these are not excuses. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm trying to make
Yeah, 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 for
explanation
sure. No,
because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's
I know.
shitty. It's
I
shitty that
know.
these things haven't happened for months.
And it's the only person that it's affecting is you, you know.
Yeah.
Um
Well, hopefully you too a little bit.
well, I care, of course,
Yeah.
but ultimately the one that is affected directly is you. Maybe instead of maybe you build this idea of like, okay, my 2025 goals. I'm going to buy a big ass piece of paper and markers and just do this whole thing. And maybe, and then when you maybe in your head, the thought comes like, oh, I have to do that. Then you're like, oh, but I'm not going to have time to do the whole big thing. And then you psych yourself out because you already make it really difficult to do.
Mhm.
Instead of just be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to type it out in a Google Doc and just that way the focus is just on typing it out instead of like,
Mhm.
okay, what am I going to put in this? What colors here? And I'm not saying don't do it the way you want to do it.
Yeah.
Do it the way you want to do it, but maybe you make it harder on yourself to complete these things.
Right.
And maybe this is specific for the 2025 goals. But then you also have understand Ukraine war.
Mhm.
I mean, that in itself, that would take you people dedicate their lives to do that.
Yeah.
So instead of being like, hey, maybe start a book about the Ukraine war. And that's kind of the same thing. That's what you're trying
Mhm.
to accomplish, right?
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
so what am I trying to say? Or the clear chaos. Well, I think that's different. But in a way, maybe you also have the confrontation, right?
Yeah.
You have to confront the fact that you've ignored these people. You
Yeah.
have to confront the fact that you've been wanting to do this for a while. So maybe make these things easier for you. Trim the fat in a way. Maybe, obviously, at the end of the day, they're just not going to be as hard as you think. They're just not. Uh, Maybe they're going to be difficult and hard for sure, but are they really as hard as you're making them out to be? Because, like, there's this cool quote. I'm not going to remember it now, but something like the biggest monsters live in our head. You
Hmm.
know, they are
Yeah.
never outside of us. So maybe just on one side, cut the shit, do your fucking goals. You don't need to do a whole artwork, fucking 20 feet by 10 feet poster. You can if you want to, it's just going to take a lot longer.
Yeah.
Just do it. Like, hey, clear chaos, meaning respond to people or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Then just, hey, you know what? The last thing I want to do right now is respond to these people. So this is probably the best time to do it.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in a way, like just force. It's uncomfortable. Dude, that happens to me very often, man. There's people that I don't respond to, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
And in a way, maybe you can make the argument that our brains are not built for that kind of communication. Maybe they are, whatever it is, right? Like,
Hmm.
it doesn't need to be that hard. It doesn't, it's not that hard. Um, so yeah, maybe, yeah, make things easier on you and realize that the biggest monsters live in your head and not in real life.
I think that's great advice. I think that's great advice.
Yeah, and I think it's important things you have to do.
Yeah, I mean, both of those guys show up next week.
They do? Okay,
Not to jump
great.
the gun, but I think so. It's very useful to hear that because I basically the X is here. I looked at all of them in creating the next week and the black dots too, honestly. And I was like, hey, is like I'm leaving Thursday. This is either happening now or I come to terms with the fact that it's not happening while I'm still here. And everything that I couldn't come to terms with not having happen is in the next week, as well as all the new shit that has to happen
Yeah.
this week too. So, I need to be able to do it. It just has to be done. It just has to be
Just
done.
then do it.
Yeah.
Do it. It really doesn't need to be that hard. You've proven that you can do things that you set your mind to. It's
Hmm.
just, I think for you, maybe it'll be a matter of just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Maybe compare yourself to others, people. Like, there's people right now that are struggling to put food on the table, you know, or there's people right now that are fleeing some sort of danger. And look at us. We have the fucking luxury to do this stuff, to put goals, to actually pursue self-actualization. How fucking lucky are we, you know, that we get to do this. So, and it's like, if your goal is to look at these 2025 goals, what's your excuse? You're going to feel so much better. It'll be a good moment for you to like come to face with these cognitive dissonance, which maybe is not even as bad as you think, you
Hmm.
know? So yeah, I guess I'll ask this. Why don't you tell me a little bit about next week, and maybe more importantly, how do you plan on overcoming the whatever you want to call them, the shortcomings or the miscalculations that happened this last week?
Sure. Okay. So for this next week,
And yeah, why don't you read them very quickly?
sure. Um, yes. So for the next week, this past week, I had a goal that was concretize these goals into something actionable, which I kind of did in my calendar, but I decided to make the goals themselves on the goal sheet more actionable. So,
Great.
from there's like the goal on the left side of this arrow, and on the right side of the arrow, I have like what exactly I need to do. So,
Nice.
I have pack bags. I need that to be all set before Wednesday evening. Not like Wednesday night, like 2 a.m., but like early.
Okay.
I'm gonna start packing today. I need to plan the time in England. I got some good progress on that, but I need a loose itinerary, and I need to message the people that I want to be at my graduation. So I've talked to some of them, but I need to get all of them on board. Reap the time here. And you want to pay attention. Pay attention. A lot of times I notice that I'm kind of just sleepwalking. If I go for a cigarette and I come back, I can like smoke the cigarette and then walk unconsciously back to the house and not even
Yeah.
like pay attention to
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to notice everything, and especially my
Sure.
bees. Like the bush with the bees is the happy place, and that's fading. And there's just a lot of really rare
Yeah.
bees there, and it's gonna be gone soon. Reap the time with my dad, and I want to kind of stop the stress and enjoy the time. Because sometimes
Sure.
when I'm hanging out with him, I'm thinking
Yeah.
that, oh my god, there's all these things I got to do. I know that there's a lot of things that I got to do, but I need to
Yeah.
not have that in
For
mind.
sure. Yeah.
Record with you, be present, and discuss the revelation about that difficulty of making priorities and saying goodbye.
Yeah.
So we did that. Daily journal and meditation on life path or cool day. I actually going to modify this slightly. I think I'm going to daily journal on my time in Oxford, so that when I'm there on Friday, it's going to hit a little bit differently.
Okay.
Uh, Determine if Murph is just if I'm going to see a friend tomorrow, or if I don't have time. I need to decide on that. So then do something to better understand the Ukraine war. Just like
There you
one
go.
video or read
Yeah.
one article. If it's one
Yeah.
thing a day, that it's just a
Exactly. For sure.
1%. Yeah. Practice a foreign language. Again, one video or one article, just to keep the things fresh. I can technically do the two things at the same time if I watch, French or Russian or German news.
Yeah.
So, kind of thinking of putting those into, yeah, at the time in the UK, I need to have some money for the pubs, so I need to finance that. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do that by selling some of my Dogecoin,
Oh.
uh, and actually adhere to schedule or modify appropriately. I last week, like I said, I have a schedule, then I have a day, and like the intersection is almost the empty set. You know,
Sure.
I can't have that. If I'm going to change the schedule, like, oh, okay, then I came to the storage and everything. I don't know. I want to change it in my calendar and make a conscious thing about. Okay, I've actually changed the things. I don't have the Wacom tablet. I need to do something differently, so I'll do it. But like, take a note of that, and then the schedule is modified from there, so that there's still a schedule rather than one thing's changed. Now the schedule for the rest of the day's
Sure.
collapsed.
Sure.
So want to respond to the messages. That's the clear chaos, Francis plus others. Write letters. Need to write one to Miller and perhaps others. But I made this concrete as well. Like the letters, I really only need one. I don't need to write a letter to every person I've ever met, which was also kind of
Sure.
sitting in the clear chaos. And same
Yeah.
with the messages. It's just like there's one message I want to respond to, and there's
All
one
right.
person I want to send a letter to. If I do that, then I'm good. It's made the goal a bit easier, less of a monster. No snoozing the alarm plus thoughtful sleep. Be cognizant and the thoughtfulness is be cognizant of the
Sure.
times that I go to bed, wake up.
Sure.
Is it consistent? I know it's not. Let's make it consistent. Be at least mindful of that so that I can change it. Clean and organize my stuff. I mean, I'm going to be leaving here for who knows how long. My clothes are scattered everywhere. I want to put that into place. Um, Mike, I got my mentor meeting on Tuesday. I want to be on time, and I want to have a really reap that conversation that I'm going to have with him. Uh, Cut unnecessary screen time. Enough said. Determine what I'm going to do about my mentoring plan about learning coding and stuff like that. See how that kind of fits into
Yeah.
what I'm going to be doing. Uh, Determine what happens June 2nd. June 2nd, my rental in Oxford expires. I have no idea where I'm going after that. So I got to figure
Jesus
that out. It's
Christ.
going to be okay. I can go to family in Germany. I can go to Olin in France. I
Okay.
can go to Alicia in Amsterdam. But I didn't buy the return because I thought I might have a job then, but I'm not so sure about that anymore.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. So we'll see. Now I want to do read at least. This is read has become read at least one paragraph of a physical, non-textbook book before bed. I think it's
Okay.
doable.
Good.
Um, Good mental, and I just want to have a good mental this week. So let's treat myself well, physically,
I
mentally.
hate how people use that word as as a fucking noun
You know what?
nowadays. I hate it, dude.
What do you want me to say?
Good mentality. I don't fucking know. Like It's like the same thing when people say like I'm so OCD. Like
Uh-huh.
no, you that's something you have. But anyway, I know
Eh,
that's more about me.
well, I can't even edit it, too bad. I was gonna edit it to something ridiculous. I wasn't gonna appease you, don't worry. Um, Yeah, and so just be present and all these things. And then last thing is I got to schedule just a call with Aiden, ideally before Oxford. And then there's that last goal, which is these things are kind of largely before I leave. So the weekly system is a bit interesting in this sense because like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I have the things I want to do here, and then there's I travel all day Thursday and Friday. I land in London, and that's got to be completely different kind of approach to the week. I'm not trying to like grind out some like books and projects.
Sure.
I just wanna chill. There's big families there, friends
All
are
right.
there, and just enjoy the moment and the time with them.
Let
So
me say
there you go.
some things. I mean, you have another big week. It's not 30 goals, but it's still 23. Um, are you sure you can do all of this stuff? Because again, every time we make these goals, it's like the intention is to get 100%.
Yeah.
So I'm asking like, is it realistic to see yourself getting 100% this week? I'm not saying like promise yourself, promise me, but I'm just saying, is this realistic? And that you don't have to answer that now. I'm just saying, taking a good hard look at this, is this realistic? That's something for you to think about.
Yeah. I thought about that a bit as well. I think it's a stretch. It's a stretch for sure,
And it's
but
not a
many
bad thing, yeah.
but many of these things do have to happen, right?
Great.
So I mean, if you go down things goals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, 11, like there's only a few that technically don't have to happen, like the meditation
Wait,
slash.
where is 2025 goals?
Oh, did it not make it into here? Wait,
I don't see it.
it's in my notebook. Oh, okay, that's sort of awkward. Well, maybe that's some sort of Freudian, some other slip. Um,
Do you want to put it?
yeah, I can't edit it, so I'll just drop
I'll
the
put it
goals
here.
again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, you can edit it?
I'm editing it here on my notes app.
Ah, okay.
All right. I mean, look, it looks good. Um, it's not really about what we learn; it's about what we remember, right? Because we can have a beautiful call right now and just go through the week and not remember anything. Um, so I think internalize, try to keep in mind the things we talked about today. The biggest monsters live in our heads. Make things easier for yourself. Cut the bullshit in some respects.
Mhm.
Because I want to see 100% from you. You know,
Yeah.
after a tough week. Um, and again, we could argue that it was just a miscalculation on your part, and that's why I'm urging you to calculate correctly. You know, to be because again, better to aim too high and miss by a little bit than to aim too low and hit the target. But there is such a thing as being unrealistic. You
Yeah.
know, and accept that some things take time. Maybe you start the 2025 goals this week instead of finishing them. And
Mhm.
that can be a goal, like start, like actually, and that doesn't mean like put one letter down. No,
Yeah.
it means like make some good progress on that.
Yeah.
So I'll talk about my stuff very quickly. It's going to be a easier week. I want to read for sure, two
Mhm.
hours 5 times. I'm going to try to get a star on that. I think that's just like the bottom. Wake up early at least 4 times this week. No porn. Um, Keep the phone away. I can. I'm gonna put. I promise you that I will keep my phone away this week.
Mhm.
That's my promise to you. And I can. I definitely can. I've done it before. Uh, Beard compulsion, progress on to do list. That one's gonna be harder because right now I'm on like a break mentality. I want to take it easy, but there's still things to do.
Yeah.
It also doesn't help that I feel so weak from the allergies, but whatever. Yeah, it's gonna be an easier week for sure. I put enjoy Williamstown. I want to make one funny video for my comedy page.
Hmm.
That'll be a fun little thing to do. Prep for my summer job. Packed and ready to go to California. That's just I have so much stuff here that I need to go through because I can only take so much stuff to California. So easy week, I would say overall for me. 12 goals. I can definitely get 100%. Could I be more ambitious? I could be more ambitious. I just feel like I don't know. I want to see people. I want to see Nico, spend time with Nico, spend time with Alice, enjoy nature. And I don't really want to put like enjoy nature on my goals because that's something I'm going to do anyway. I
Yeah.
just want to have this list, these goals, so that I can get them over with so that I can enjoy the rest. And I
Right.
guess I have here enjoy Williamstown, right?
Hmm.
Um, easy week. What's to keep in mind? I mean, I'm very happy with my performance last week. I'm very happy. I needed it. Um, for this, so this week should be easy. Really, should be easy. Um, I should be making a big purchase this week, buying a car. So that's big, and I think, yeah, this is just with the amount of money that I've been spending lately. It's going to motivate me to make a lot of money over the summer.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah, I think I don't have too much else to say. Is there anything you think I should keep in mind?
Mhm. Is there something here that's most important to you?
Yeah. Uh, oh, I also have work on resume. That's very important. Reading is probably the most important. Reading 2 hours, 5 days this week, 5 times this week.
Yeah.
Um, enjoying Williamstown is also very important. And obviously packed and ready to go to California.
Mm.
Other than that, not really.
Mhm.
No, there's other than those things that I mentioned, which are very important. Um, I would say, yeah, reading and enjoying Williamstown.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess well, that's interesting to me because I feel if I was there, I feel like perhaps for me enjoying Williamstown would take, in my mental priority list, if that even does exist. Um, like the Williamstown enjoyment would be like far above reading.
really.
Well, because you're not there all that much. It's like your friends and mentors and a home for like
Here's the
memories.
thing, though, and this is sorry if I interrupt you. It's just
Mhm.
don't want to frame the reading as something that I'm doing, right? I
Yeah.
want to frame it as I'm the person that reads at
Mhm.
least 2 hours every day.
Yeah.
The reading is not going to take away from my time at Williamstown.
Yeah.
There's nothing like if I get up early, between 6 and 7 or 8, and I read for at least 2 hours, it's not going to take away from my experience at Williams,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So,
Y-
but yeah, no, you might be right in the sense that I should really enjoy Williamstown,
Yeah.
make that a big priority. Going on hikes, going to the river, seeing Miller, seeing Nico, spending time with Alice. Because yeah, I'm not here too much, so that is a good reminder.
Yeah. Well, that's on Mila.
That's on Miller. Um,
Uh,
yeah,
I like that though. I guess I think maybe I can be a bit too binary in terms of how I view the weeks. Like if I'm going to relax, it's like I relax and then
yeah,
just I guess things like can fall apart a little bit, or it's like I'm cracked, and then it's like, okay, yeah, I don't even know if I'll see the sun, you know. And I think I can maybe undulate between or fluctuate between those two extremes and kind of miss out on the sort of middle path. So
No,
I
I
like
do
this
that as
idea.
well. I know what you mean. I do that as
Yeah.
well.
But I like this, because I don't want to have it be like, "Hey, I just ended up," like, I mean, let's just say with Oxford, for an instance. I mean, I think it's different. It's a graduation trip. You have the family there, and I really don't need to be all that cracked. But I do like the idea of like, hey, if there's something key to who I am, then like let me maintain that kind of no matter what. Because I mean, I think you're right. Like you're if you wake up at 6 and you take an hour to get ready, I mean, I don't know, take coffee, get a walk in with a bogue or something like this. You start at 7 and then you've read until 9 and then you're free for the rest of the day. I mean, it's
Exactly.
like
Exactly.
it hasn't really taken away anything
No,
concretely
nothing.
anyways.
Yeah,
So,
and I'm gonna have to be doing this for the next 5, 6 months every
yeah.
day. So it's like get you. I want to get used to it.
Yeah, I
I
like
don't
that.
want it to feel like "Ugh, I have to read, and it still feels like that. Don't get it. Definitely still feels like that. But I
Mhm.
want to get to the point where even if I'm at home with my family, which is it's really hard to motivate myself to do things when I'm at home because I
Mhm.
all I want to do is chill.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Even in those moments, I have to read. I have
Yeah.
to read. That's not a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. I like that then. I like that then. Well, then,
Yeah.
then I would say, I guess for this week, my advice to you would
Yeah.
be to I guess keep in mind that there's a person that you want to be, and that although it can suck at times, sucks worse to not achieve that. Because I think at least 2 weeks ago you had difficulty with the readings,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Yeah, and so now we're here, and you've got very good momentum.
Yeah.
So, try to maintain that, because
Yeah.
it takes some amount of time to form the habit, and you're already a week in, you're a week off of the
Yeah.
Sweetie Fox, Riley Reid, a Bella Danger thing. uh,
Yeah.
so, you
Yeah, maybe we can talk about that on the next one. There's another thing that I want to talk to you about, but we're already over 1 hour.
oh wow.
Remind me next week, but it's something that happened to me last week at this point. Um, it was on a Friday. It was
Uh-huh.
not last Friday, but the Friday before that. Something truly serendipitous happened to me. Um, and I want to tell you in detail for sure,
Mm,
because it was so crazy.
yeah.
Um, so we'll start with that next episode. We can talk about it off the episode, or we can leave it, for this.
Yeah.
Um, what else was I gonna say? Um, yeah, just yeah, the thought kind of escaped my mind. Um, yeah. Anyway, I got the 12 goals. I could do them easily. Um, yeah, I feel good. I feel pretty good. Life is mysterious and weird and unexplainable.
Mhm.
And I guess I'll say this, which has to do with my weird experience. I guess what, over a week ago now. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I told him what happened to me. This serendipitous encounter with somebody, and he told me something so interesting that it sounds trivial, and it's usually stated when you want to say the opposite. I'll tell you what it is. He said something to the effect of like things things don't mean anything unless we assign them meaning. Now, when people say that, it's to say they usually say it to say that everything is meaningless. Nothing has meaning, nothing matters. But my friend told it to me to state the opposite, to tell me that things are meaningful. And just
Mm,
because we give things meaning doesn't mean they're meaningless. doesn't mean the meaning is fake or not any less real, you know? So that was cool. And maybe we can keep that in mind as a big overarching kind of motivator. We have all these things that
Right.
we care about, and maybe like I said, like for example, killing my beard compulsion. In the grand scheme of things, that's completely meaningless. But to me, it means that I can control a compulsion, and that's important to me, and that means something to me. For you with the 2025 goals, maybe in 10 years, it won't mean anything to you.
Mhm.
Or maybe in 10 years, you will look at this thing that you made with your goals listed for 2025, and it'll be a sweet moment of nostalgia.
Mm.
But for some reason, it means something to you right now. And that's important. So we should deliver on that.
Isaac, you gotta stop touching the mic.
Why? Oh, sorry.
It,
Was it fucking up?
it's loud. No, it's just loud.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, you're good.
Um, what are we going to name this episode?
Uh,
What?
no, I don't know. Oh, jeez. I'm just looking at this 12.5 out of 30. I mean, but you had a
I
good
have
week. I think that's better. I mean, like what did we have for last week? What was the title?
100%.
I mean, I think it'd be kind of nice to have something epic about you hitting that, you know. But I don't want it to be a word like apotheosis because that's kind of like an arc.
Wait.
Maybe.
Where did I hear that before?
Yeah.
You Oh fuck, what was it? We had a joke and you used that word.
Oh, was it? Oh, a Super Smash Bros. Apotheosis.
Oh, that's such a great. That's so funny. Super Smash Brothers Apotheosis. I think I like the phrase that I know it's supposed to be one word. I guess last time we technically had two words or three. But I like rude awakening.
Rude
But
awakening.
maybe that just captures you. Um, but maybe that's fine. You
Uh-huh.
know.
Dreamers and achievers. Uh,
Eh.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I want to get a duality. I had yeah,
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah, I
sleep.
got you.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'd like it to rhyme,
How
maybe.
about
Yeah.
uh, cooking and cooked, or like cooking or cooked?
I would do like cooking v dot cooked.
Okay. All right. Parenthesis 2025
No.
landmark case. Supreme Court SCOTUS landmark case.
SCOTUS.
All right, I like it. Cooked v dot. Is it cooked v cooking or cooking v cooked? I think cooking v cooked.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. We got the name.
Represented by Dugs and Bogues. Oats.
That's awesome, dude. What a fucking title. All right. Do you want to go smoke a bug?
Yeah.
All right. Sign off.
Ciao, ciao.